Happy 4th of July, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good holiday. And now let's jump into the video. So imagine you putting $10,000 into a stock that Wall Street still believes could climb significantly higher, and then watching it suddenly lose over 10% in just a couple of trading sessions, or 20%. Most investors would panic, sell, and never look back. But what if that exact moment is where the biggest opportunities are sometimes created? Today, we're talking about Micron and Sandisk, two companies at the center of the AI memory boom. Both are reporting incredible business results. Analysts are raising price targets. Demand for AI memory is stronger than ever. Yet both the stocks have suddenly been hit with heavy selling. So the real question isn't why they fell. The real question is whether the market knows something that us investors do not. And if you have been following this channel for a while, you already know I love moments like these because these are usually where money is either made or lost. By the way, if you enjoy breaking down stocks with facts instead of hype, you are probably going to fit right in here. And don't forget to go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel with all notifications. And let's try to hit 200 likes. That would just be awesome. And now let's jump right into it. So when these stocks started falling, social media reacted exactly how you would expect. One comment on our previous Micron video caught my attention. Someone wrote that I finally bought after seeing what was happening with the market and Micron having great earnings, and the stock immediately dropped. First of all, welcome to investing. I think almost every investor has experienced that at least once. But here's what I replied. I said the first thing I always ask myself isn't why is my stock down? It's usually, has the business actually changed? Because those are two completely different questions. Let's start with Micron. If you looked at the share price over the last few days, you'd probably think something terrible has happened. Except nothing terrible has happened. In fact, the company just delivered one of the strongest quarters we have seen from any semiconductor company this year. Revenue exploded 346% year over year to over $41 billion. Earnings per share reached $24.67. Net income crossed $28 billion. And management is now guiding for around $50 billion in revenue in the next quarter. Those are numbers from a struggling business. Those are numbers from a company that's benefiting from one of the biggest technology shifts we have seen in years. So, why did the stock fall? That's where things get interesting. Because Wall Street isn't debating today's earnings anymore. They're debating how long these earnings can continue. And that's a completely different conversation. Stay with me, because the answer to the question may decide where Micron stock goes over the next few years. So, a few weeks ago, one of our Finance with Bera members sent me a message that really stood out. He said, I've owned Micron before, and every single time the company looked unstoppable, the cycle eventually turned. Honestly, that's been true for decades. Memory companies have always lived through massive booms, followed by painful bust cycles. The prices rise, the company builds more capacity, supply catches demand, and then prices collapse. And the cycle starts all over again. But this time, management believes that something is different. Here's why. Number one, which is the strategic customer agreements. Instead of simply selling memory chips, whenever customers would place orders, Micron is increasingly signing long-term agreements that stretch all the way to 2030. The company now has 16 strategic customer agreements, with 14 representing around $100 billion in committed minimum revenue. Think about that for a second. Customers are no longer hoping that they will have enough memory in the future. They're reserving it years in advance. That gives Micron something investors have always wanted for decades, which is visibility going into the future. Number two, AI has completely changed the memory market. When people talk about AI, most investors immediately think about Nvidia. But here's what many people forget. An AI server isn't powered by GPUs alone. It also needs enormous amounts of high-performance memory. That means high bandwidth memory, DRAM, NAND. These are the two important components. Without these components, those expensive AI accelerators can't even do their job. It's like buying the world's fastest sports car without putting the right fuel in it. That's why Micron believes the demand for memory will remain stronger than supply well into 2027. And that's also why Wall Street continues raising price targets despite the recent sell-off. Number 3, the market is beginning to value Micron differently. Historically, investors treated Micron like a commodity company, meaning that there can be great earnings today, but bad earnings tomorrow. No investor wanted to pay a premium multiple. But if long-term customer agreements actually reduce earnings volatility, then investors may actually start valuing Micron more like a structural AI infrastructure company instead of another cyclical memory stock. And that's a massive difference, because companies with predictable earnings almost always receive higher valuations. But before everyone gets too excited, there's another side to this story. Because while many analysts are raising price targets, one famous investor is actually doing the exact opposite. And what he's saying about Micron should make every shareholder stop and think. Let's talk about that next. So, if we are talking about the argument from the other side, because no investment is just one-sided, a few days ago, everyone commented in our older video that every AI stock is being treated like it can go only up. Whether you agree with that or not is exactly the question that the market is asking today. One of our biggest bears right now is Michael J. Berry, the investor famous for predicting the housing crash years ago. He's recently taken a bearish position against several semiconductor names, including Micron. His argument isn't that Micron is a bad company. His argument is much simpler. Number 1, expectations have become extremely high, and Micron has had an incredible run. History tells us that stocks rarely move in a straight line forever, right? Number 2, memory has always been cyclical. If companies eventually build too much capacity, supply catches up, prices fall, and earnings come under pressure. That's how previous cycles have ended. But this time we got AI. Something to think about, right? Number 3, valuations. That matters the most. Even though many analysts still believe that Micron is not expensive relative to its earnings, investors are starting to ask whether too much future success already started reflecting in today's stock price. So here's the takeaway. The debate isn't about whether Micron is making money. It clearly is. The debate is whether today's profit can last much longer than previous memory cycles. And that's exactly where Sandisk enters the story, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the part that surprised me the most. Sandisk, it did not fall because of bad news. It actually announced some very important developments. One of our Finance with Bera members sent me a message on my email saying that I kept waiting for a negative earning warning, but instead, they announced new production and stock that still crashed. That's exactly what happened. Let's break it down. Number 1, a major manufacturing milestone. Sandisk and Kioxia officially started producing their next generation of 3D NAND memory flash in Japan. This technology delivers higher storage density, faster speeds, and lower power consumption. Exactly what AI data centers need. Number 2, long-term partnership became even stronger. This joint venture with Kioxia venture has now been extended all the way to 2034. That gives both the companies years of visibility for future NAND development and manufacturing. Number 3, Wall Street actually became more bullish, right? Bank of America raised its price target, saying tight NAND supply could continue into 2027. Several analysts also believe that AI storage demand remains extremely strong. So, if all of this is positive, why did the stock fall more than 14%? Because the market was not focused on the business. It was focused on the valuation instead. After such an enormous rally, many investors simply decided to lock into profits. The business has improved, but expectations had already become incredibly high. Sometimes a great company can still produce disappointing stock performance. That's what we have been saying in our previous videos, at least in the short term. That's an important lesson every investor should eventually learn. So, what is my final verdict? What am I watching next? So, after looking at both the companies, here's what I think is going to matter the most going forward. Number 1, AI demand, right? If AI spending on AI infrastructure remains strong, demand for HBM, DRAM, and NAND should continue supporting both the companies. Number 2, long-term customer agreements. This is probably the biggest structural change. The more revenue that comes from multi-year contracts, the less dependent these businesses become on traditional memory cycles. Number 3, supply discipline, right? This is the biggest risk. If Micron, Samsung, SK Hynix expand production too aggressively, pricing eventually could come under pressure again. That's what I'll be watching closely over the next several quarters. One comment from a subscriber really summed it up perfectly in our last video. The market usually moves first and explains why later. I think that's exactly what's happening right now. The sell-off doesn't automatically mean that the AI memory story is over, but it also reminds us that great companies don't move up forever. Sometimes the best opportunities appear when the fear returns. And sometimes the market is warning us that expectations simply got ahead of reality. That's why separating business performance from stock performance, business performance from stock performance is one of the most valuable skills an investor can develop. So if you enjoyed today's breakdown, consider dropping a like and subscribing, because every week we go beyond the headlines and focus on what actually matters for the long run. So, if you'd like to see exactly what I'm personally buying, selling, and watching out for, you can join the Finance with Bera membership here on YouTube or on Finance with Bera directly. I share my real portfolio, my research, and the stocks I'm following for just $50 a month. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.